Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Steven, this is Nathan, and we're of Three Swords Productions. Today we're going to be doing commentary over Kin'eMon versus Whitebeard. Now, these are two of the strongest decks in the meta, and I'm just super excited to actually do commentary over meta stuff instead of off-meta matchups because, you know, that's the kind of thing I usually post. But we're going to flip over. You ready?
I'm excited.
How excited are you?
I'm
pumped.
I'm a green player. I've been playing green since the beginning of the One Piece, so finally something I actually know a little bit about and I feel confident on.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's I mean that's very true. We do a lot of random decks on the channel here, so yeah, no Magellan to be found.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, tangent time. I watched two tournaments today, and both of them had a Kaido player in the top four. That's just something you don't see in OPO2. Anyways, let's moving on. All right, so I'm on Whitebeard for this one. You're on Kin'eMon.
I am.
You know, Whitebeard versus Kin'eMon, I'm really just looking for the strongest opening I can get. Nothing too specific for this matchup. My Nico Robins aren't going to do a whole lot, so I'm just looking for things to play onto the board and good searchers. So, on your side, are you looking for anything specific?
No, a lot of your matchups come out against start the same as they would any matchup for.
Yeah, well, you know, and that's very true for the Whitebeard side too. I think you already have one of the stronger tools against Kin'eMon just in your leader ability. They're going to have a hard time pressuring your life, at least early on. They will be able to establish Odin in the mid to late game that could threaten you. But you have the strongest tool against them, which is just to draw 2 cards every turn. So you're going to be able to out-resource them. So we're going to see if that is how this game plays out.
Yeah, we saw there in the opening hand that Yamato was in there, and I think some one-drop, if I remember correctly. Yep, there's a Bonnie. So
looks like we're going to take a mulligan. I don't know if you guys actually focus on the sleeves that get used often or not, but these are actually the new Cortexes from Ultimate Guard.
Oh, are you?
No, not sponsor or anything, but I'm just trying them out. I'm kind of seeing like how the matte facing does on camera. It's just stuff that I focus on, you know. All right, see the Rizzler and the Bonnie in hand already.
Yeah, but even better.
Oh, starting with Momonosuke.
Momo.
All right. Okay, and I've got a Nico Robin on my side. So let's go. I'm holding 5-drop Luffy, Sanji, Nami. Looks like I'm gonna have probably a Nami start here.
Probably.
It's either that or pass, right? Certainly we're not playing the Sanji. Not what we want in this one. So I'm actually playing Strawbeard, so I don't want to just race my life down to 0. I actually want to hold strong at 1 or 2 life. Oh, and I'm putting 2 9-drops on the bottom of the deck. That does not feel good.
Rook is fine.
Yeah, we're just looking. I tend to prioritize any late game pieces I can while I'm got my searchers going. It's not important to me what I'm adding to my hand so much as that I am adding, just a tool for later on in the game. Okay, and I picked up an Otama. That's gonna be really powerful with the Nico Robin I'm holding. Looks like you have Odin already.
Yes. So
and you drew a Toki.
We have Yamato. We have Rizzler. Which is a Raizo, and
no, he's the Riz Master.
He's the Riz Master. My apologies.
That's right. He's the Rizzler.
I opted, I think, for an interesting line here of trying to get one of the early swings in against you.
Okay.
But I didn't fully commit to it. I instead just went for a 6K swing here to kind of test some water.
Okay. So it looks like you wanted to get 1 card out of my hand.
Yep.
Or to just see if I would take the damage.
Yeah, so we've talked about this before on the channel, but you taking the damage as a Newgate player early makes your 9-drops worse in the late game. When you have less life and you can't easily play other things alongside those 9-drops.
Unfortunately, something you could not have predicted was that I just put 2 9-drops on the bottom, and I said, I'm not going to be able to play this game with 9-drops, so I am just going to play this game more traditional. I want as many cards as I can get as early as possible.
Yeah, and this is also a line that I've never really tried with Searcher on 1 into Raizo on 2, so that you can really try and power out those effects. I think Raizo usually is a bit medium, and you're going to see that even more so against a Newgate because free swinging 6Ks is not the same as free swinging 5Ks.
Committing 2 Dawn is not at all free.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very important. Now, drawing a card is nice, but you very easily lose the Rizzler when you make that because Whitebeard just has to put himself towards the Rhizo, and the Rhizo is going to fold. You're not going to pitch 2 cards to save it when you drew only 1.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to see Momonosuke tap here. And he's going to look at the top 5 cards of his deck. Now, with the Curly Dudan ruling, you actually do need to declare how many cards you're going to search for before you pick them up. But with Momonosuke, Bonnie, the set 1 searchers, we actually don't have that clause because they are not going up to 5. They are just looking at 5. Okay, we added another Rhizo to our hand. Kind of weak. Maybe
it'll probably be a pitch, but the rest of that hand was weak. It was Beige, 7-drop, Punk Gibson, and an Apu.
So it sounds like all misses except for Rhizo.
Yep.
Now, when my opponent adds a Rhizo to a hand in the Whitebeard matchup, I'm basically going to be guessing that they didn't have any other targets at all.
And now I have the flexibility to, I think, play Yamato here to really cement another board, or cement another character onto the board, which is important. I need to start being able to contest creatures attacking me. But also, I can tap on the Nami, and Rhizo can swing on the Nami then to draw the card.
Yep.
Which has a cool secondary ability of I'm now forcing my opponent to attack what's on board here, and not be able to swing at my life. So I'll have a little flexibility when it comes down to playing Odins and 7 and 8 drops later on in the game.
Now, something to note, too, another really big downside for the Rhizo is that because you established the Rhizo, you actually can't establish Yamato for cheap.
Yes.
So you lost out on an attack on my life, and you weren't able to fully pressure my Luffy if you were going to tap my Luffy. So you had to instead just tap the Nami, which saves the Momonosuke for sure.
Yeah, it saves the Momo, right? So that kind of does work out a little bit the same.
But it's a little bit weaker.
Yes, obviously.
Than if you just been able to pay 3 for it.
Yep.
Okay, and we're just going full 6K on the Momo. Now, we actually don't care so much that you have the Rhizo,
right.
But at this point, attacking your life doesn't make any sense until I establish a little bit more of a board before I start giving you cards, because I have access to as many as I want from my life, but you don't, so I can kind of strand you with what you got.
Yeah. And I'm also fine with you attacking the Rhizo out. This now puts me back down to 1 creature, and my ability's back online. So Odin next turn is actually a threat.
Yep. Okay, we added Nami, so this is going to let's go wide again. Now, going wide actually threatens you a little bit because I can equip Dawn to them and just get free 5K swings.
Oh, yeah. And Makino.
Well, I say free, but it is a lot of
sure.
It's a lot of Dawn equipment, but uncontested 5K swings, unblocked. With characters that I don't really care if you attack them.
Took another Brook there. Okay.
Yep.
Sure.
So that's just in line with my play style. I'm going to add as many 2Ks as I can. I'm really going for that very last turn. I want to have as many 2Ks in my hand as possible.
Yeah, and then cementing a Nico Robin down before what could possibly be an ace turn would be nice. Looks like I think I saw an ace there. 9-drop is also good, obviously.
You're right. I'm holding 3 ace.
Yeah. So now ace with Nico is a cool combo in the face of things like Yamato. Doesn't quite work for things like Odin, if I were to slam that here.
Well, I'm actually really happy about drawing the ace, because next turn I'm going to go to 8, so it is that turn where I can ace plus Nico Robin, swing with a Dawn equipped to Nico Robin, destroy something, and I'm looking at the Yamato thinking, I might be able to do that exact thing here. Now, if you do play an Odin, I won't be able to do that. Unfortunately, it's 8 Dawn, not 9, so I can't Otama plus ace, and I'm not holding enough Otamas in order to just, Otama it down.
Plus, if you just killed an Odin, it would still fish out an Okiku, which is another body for you to have to worry about in some capacity.
Yeah, it's not quite...
No, it's not the same. Don't get me wrong.
Not quite as intimidating as an Odin swinging twice. Now I'm still playing the game as though I don't have 9 drops or access to them. So we are going to go to 8 Dawn here. Cannot play the Newgate that I just drew.
Yep. And I opted to not swing with Yamato. I could have swung it on the Luffy or at his life, but my thought process here was if he has ace, it's a bit of a blowout. If he doesn't have ace, it's good to protect it here to be able to pressure all at the same time when he's a bit lower in life.
Well, it's not entirely like a blowout. It's a really good tempo move. But again, I've kind of been playing the game like I don't want to give you your life.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't have anything to attack other than your life. So if I want to establish a big body here, it's got to go face. But before you can get too much, momentum with your Odin.
Absolutely.
Which right now is a good pivot time anyways, so I'm not really missing out there.
This is also one of the spots that, as the Newgate player, if you were to just drop like 2 Tony choppers right now, my board looks completely anemic, and I would be in a very tough spot.
Yep. Okay, and I'm just poking you to see what you're willing to take, without actually committing anything. And I would have liked to actually swing with the Nico Robin here earlier. I'm actually considering putting 2 Dawn on Curly Dadan and swinging with for 5s, but decide to actually go for the value of the ace. I'm holding 3 aces. You can't know that, so if I go ace, 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 I'm kind of hoping that that's just lights out. Because you took the 2 without fighting, earlier on, and now I'm hoping that you regret it. But your hand is as stacked as mine is, so it's going to be kind of tough. Okay, you just took the 7K. Now you're probably at 1, so, it gets a little harder to just take those free attacks.
It does, definitely. We'll probably see a Nico equip here, attack 5 at the face, kill the Yamato, and you'll watch me counter out of that one. I'm 97% sure.
So in my hand right now, I'm debating between playing the Tony Chopper or just putting the Dawn on Nico Robin and swinging. Now, putting the Dawn on Nico Robin and swinging, I decided was better because it does pressure a card out of your hand, as well as gets a Yamato off the table, and that's kind of similar to me just blocking with Chopper. Yeah. So I decided, this does a 2-for-1. Let's just go for that.
Yeah. And the reason I'm taking a lot of these hits, if I remember somewhat correctly, is that I don't have a lot of 2Ks in hand. I had a lot of 1Ks. So pitching 2 cards to those attacks felt quite bad, as well as some cards that just didn't pitch. I have some Yamatos, some Beiges.
Well, a lot of the attacks that you actually took made sense, and that's actually why I didn't want to attack you earlier in the match, was just because, you're very willing to take those and then try and use those resources to come back into the game, and I wanted to establish an overwhelming board before I gave you the resources.
Yeah, and now we're considering a lot of options. He's got a lot of tapped characters on board, so we have the ability to attack with Odin, untap it, and possibly attack something else. So those are all strong options here. But like I said, my hand is a bit awkward in that a lot of it doesn't pitch for a whole lot. So I'm trying to figure out if I should just be committing like a couple large bodies this turn instead. Playing something like 2 Yamatos or Yamato and an X-Drake here would be also very strong. So I'm going to test the waters first and see what you're willing to do. Swing 8K on 6. If he's willing to pitch 2 cards for it, that's at least 2 cards. But I don't want to swing 8 into 7 because that's just far too easy to get out of.
That was a really good attack. I mean, it did kind of, I went into this saying, all right, my opponent can swing on me twice for 15K, or 14K. How much do I have to get out of this? And so when you swung there, I had to recalculate and say, okay, can I actually get out of everything that, if he swings out of this, can I actually get out of the next 2 attacks?
Yeah.
And as long as the answer is yes, I'm going to protect my characters. You actually see me doing that math again.
Yeah, and something else we didn't address here is there's always an option as a as a player against Newgate that you can just start swinging at their face to really pressure them down. But the problem at 1 life is that 1 life that when they take a damage at 1 life, it's essentially free for them. They're going to take it next turn off their life regardless and be at 0. If they're at 0, they're not taking another damage off their life next turn. So they're willing to just take that and then counter out of the second attack that you would do with something like an Odin. So swinging double there doesn't actually do anything for me. I have to play towards board still.
I pitched 2 Otama there, which is really... I'm giving up quite a bit there.
Yeah, you've definitely cemented and said, hey, this is the turn that I'm going to try and kill you.
Yep. I do think I have to, and you're just tapping anything.
Yeah, I just want another body here, and then I'm just going to play some blockers. You'll kill one of them with the Nico Robins, but putting 2 out at least cements that I'll have 1 attack that I can...
Nathan, your ability to draw multiple blockers is always remarkable. I don't think I've ever played a game against Nathan where he didn't end the game by just, and it's the last turn of the game, here's a couple of blockers.
They're so good.
Holding them for the very last turn, is incredibly powerful. It's something I wish I could incorporate into my game. Like, you see me holding them, but I don't value them as much as just putting Dawn and keeping the pressure up.
Well, I think that's also just kind of Green's role in a lot of games is apply pressure, now play blockers, and that is just the game plan that's going on.
Yeah. So I am trying to hold my choppers back to keep,
Mhm.
Can I draw a second blocker? Can I find the exact moment where this blocker is going to stumble my opponent? Okay, and we're getting a lot of cards out of your hand, so I'm liking what I'm
Absolutely.
seeing. And we got the blockers out of the way.
Yep.
We are holding Rush Luffy, so we're kind of saying like, okay, what attacks can we make where he will just allow this damage to go through, so that we can kind of cheese out a win. But you're holding a lot of cards in your hand. You're playing smart with everything you've got. So at this point, you're at 0. You've got no more blockers, and I'm just saying I want to be disrespectful and, and swing with my Nami here. I could have actually made it 1k stronger by swinging all out with Curly to Dan,
But he had to flex.
and I had to flex.
Yeah.
But we did get there. So that's kind of the power of defending against Newgate when he's a 6k. A lot of the characters he's playing are 6k plus. And then you never really had the opportunity to clear my board of the Namis.
No, you were able to counter out everything. Very obnoxious.
Yes, multiple aces in my hand were very strong as well. So
I think one thing I could have done after watching this game is I attacked first at the Luffy with Odin, and that last turn there, and I think that Odin should just go towards Nico Robins, killing the Nico Robins, because cementing that Nico Robins kill means I get another blocker for the next turn, which is a whole another thing that would have helped stop what was going on. So I think that was a misplay.
Yeah, and if you're trying to reduce the number of characters on my board, and we're talking about like maximizing what we can do, well, hey, Luffy has a 6k body, Nico Robin has a 4k body. It's going to take him 2 extra cards to counter out of this.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that. He's not wasting 4 cards to get out of this attack. I just swing there, and then that kind of maximizes like my success rate. So.
Yes, and I think that it's a good point to think about towards the future.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that I can learn there, a lot of things that you can learn, but hopefully you guys learn something, what not to do, maybe what to do there. But if you liked anything, if you learned anything, leave us a comment, let us know. And if you're still here, hit the like and subscribe button. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you the next one.
See you, everyone.